Welcome back. Canadians looking for bargains will have a new place to shop in 2 years. U.S. retail giant Target announced it's entering Canada. The cheap chic offerings will be available in at least 100 stores by 2013. The company has bought the leaseholds of Zellers from the Hudson's Bay Company. The $1.8 billion for the deal is more of a purchase of the real estate opportunity than the Zellers brand, which retail experts say will peter out over the next few years. Rick Pennycooke is president of the Lakeshore Group. So, Rick, people have been talking about this deal happening for quite some time. It's finally happened. What's your reaction?
I think it's fabulous. It's a great opportunity for the landlords. It's a great opportunity for the consumer as well. It's really interesting what you said off the top about buying the leases, and that's sort of the behind the scenes legal machinations of the deal. But for the consumer, they're going to see Target finally arrive here, and the excitement that many Canadians know about the store, even having not visited any of them. They know it's great and trendy, and they're going to see it here soon.
So let's talk about pricing parity. When I go to Target or Target in the U.S., I can buy a great pair of jogging pants for $10. Is that going to happen in Canada? Are they going to do what most retailers do here, which is jack up the Canadian price, even though our dollar is now stronger? What do you think Canadians can expect in these stores?
No, I think the Canadians are going to see a really good price point. I mean, look, Target's going to have to do something special as well, right? Everybody's expecting big things. I think they're going to deliver, certainly in the short term. But they are a cheap chic retailer. They're going to be going head-to-head with Walmart in that space, and they're going to be going head-to-head with Joe Fresh. Loblaws is going to have a new competitor through this as well. So I think the prices are going to stay very, very low.
And talking about food, talking about food there, do you think they're going to bring in food and compete against Loblaws eventually?
Absolutely, right? I mean, this type of retailer is going to do everything to keep everybody's dollars there. Once you're inside, they want to keep you there. And I was in a Target in the spring in the U.S., in California, and the food offering looks absolutely spectacular.
I'm really keen to hear more about sort of how this might change the competitive landscape. But first, can you just sort of walk us through how this actually going to work? Like, how many Zellers are there? How many are going to change? What's happening to the ones that aren't becoming Targets? What's happening?
Right. Well, we know from all the reports, and I've been watching the news on a number of channels all day, we know that there's going to be about 150 of the Zeller stores picked up and converted, and then the rest are going to be parceled off, either the leases there either sold off or sublet to another chain. I don't think anybody, unless you're on the inside, knows which ones they're going to be, but from the perspective of a retail real estate analyst, obviously the ones with the highest traffic, the most attractive size, those ones are going to be held and reworked for the Target brand.
Well, why do you think we suck at retail? Why do we always have to wait for an American brand to come in here and show us how it's done? We export Tim Hortons to the U.S. and we blow it. I mean, why can't we have a good retail brand? Like, what is it fundamentally we don't know that we have to have Target teach us?
Right. Well, I think it might just be risk. I mean, it just might be Canadians are less risky in the retail space than Americans are. But, I don't know if that's a totally fair approach. In the U.S., it's just a bigger market, so they have a lot of regional players that can grow to large national players, and we don't really have that opportunity in Canada just because the population is so low and so spread out.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree with Michael. I think there are some quite good Canadian retailers, but I am curious to know why the Bay couldn't make this work. Like, why are they so easy to say, all right, fine, take it off our hands?
Right. Well, it may have been a money issue. It would cost a lot to really go head to head with Walmart. But it also is an opportunity where a huge amount of dollars now comes to the Bay, and they can use it to continue the trajectory that the Bay is on, which is, from my perspective, doing quite well as an upper-end retailer.
Who do you think they're going to compete with most, very specifically? Do you think that this is going to really give the Walmarts a run for their money, or is it Joe Fresh, or who do you think is going to really?
Well, it's definitely going to. Walmart is going to feel it, and they're going to prepare for it, and the consumer is going to win in that. They're going to drive down a lot of prices, probably come up with some new product that's by some fancy designer and take a page out of the Target book, but Loblaw could get hit as well, particularly if they roll out the food offering, if Target rolls out the food offering initially. Obviously, on the clothing side, Loblaw is exposed because of the Joe Fresh side. Sears will be a Target, a competitor in this space as well.
Now, people are saying this is pretty much a win-win deal. You guys are very bullish on Target's great, consumers are happy, it's a great investment, shareholders should be happy, all the rest of it. Is there any downside to this besides those sentimentalists who perhaps are sad to see a Canadian chain go?
I don't think so. I mean, the excitement in having a retailer of that size and the buzz is obviously going to be good for Target, but great for the landlord and great for the other stores in a development where the Target is going to show up. I think it's good all around, and of course the lawyers always are going to do extremely well trying to rejig all of the leases that are in place across the country.
That'll be a big job. All right, well, thanks so much for being here, Rick.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
And now it's time to zip around the world in our World Wrap. How do we rate